This is your daily market review for Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market review, Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. Interesting day. Choppiness felt very ominous, in my opinion, by the action, but clearly after hours, Micron's puny beat and guidance has them up. People are excited. Now I know, again, it's earnings, hard to predict, but it's interesting. Again, consumer sentiment crashing, new home sales flopping, China stimulating after hours. I mean, not even after hours, but near the end of the day, it looks like the government pushed a stopgap to push funding through. Again, who knows anything for certain? Again, it's a probability-based game. You do the best you dang can to figure it out, but it just feels like, again, what I've said this before, it's like no man's land, Twilight Zone, kind of all sorts of weird action the last couple of days, and we got another day of it. And so going into tomorrow, I mean, the ES futures are flat, Qs are up a little bit with the Micron news, but yeah, let's talk about what to expect, how to handle it, and again, patience, thoughtful, define your risk, have your stops, do what you got to do to survive. If you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, link description below. Appreciate love, support, generous donations. You guys are amazing. Follow on the Twitter. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on YouTube or whatever platform you're watching on. I appreciate it. And check out the educational videos. A lot of people have questions, and it's like, did you check out the education video on this? Cool. Check that out and hit me back if you need help. Also, the website, turn profits into properties and passive income. If you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate and you have not reached out, what are you waiting for? Yeah, what? I guess I don't want to sing Jay-Z lyrics. Diddy body. Anyway, point being, a lot of insights, really good stuff on the website. Again, recommended reading. All sorts of fun stuff for learning. And if you ever want to chat, use the Calendly link in the description below. All right. What do we know, right? Let's check this out. Where are we at? I mean, it was at 62% yesterday, 59. I mean, again, it's hard for the feds, right? With China stimulus, which is, again, interesting how oil and gas acted. They were looking a little sneaky yesterday. We talked about. I mean, can the feds cut even more with China? I mean, the reason why China is cutting is because, I mean, I've told you guys, and we talked about this in the past, like people just stopped paying their mortgages. People stopped really just caring. And again, I know that sounds very like, what do you mean caring? It's like, no, they just literally, this is the only way they have power over the Chinese government is literally just that's just default on their mortgages. And that's what people are doing. And not in every situation, obviously, but in certain areas. And it's a weird real estate market there because they overbuilt. People are frustrated. People are stuck. And yeah, that's just, it's what it is. And so they are going to have to stimulate, and they're not stimulating because things are great. And they're like, oh, let's just let's get the RPMs up a little bit. No, it's like they're trying to like resuscitate the dead. Again, if you look at the Chinese markets, like economy, it's just been crap. Keep it on Bitcoin. Again, needs to get over this 65,000. I'm pretty sure I thought it was at this. I'm just going to refresh it. And I know you're going to be like, oh, why'd you do that again? It takes it back. Blah, 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 blah. Just double checking. That's what I thought. Stuck in another chop day. Oil, look at this. Hits the trend line. You're welcome. Backing off. Again, demand destruction is real. The economy is slowing. Consumer confidence, all these things just not good. Natural gas, kind of kicking myself here. Again, was hoping for somewhere in the set 1617. Holding up. Again, as we talked about, define your risk. Great trade if you bought it. It's not like we said don't buy it. It's just I'm not going to buy it. I was waiting for a pullback, and guess what? Wrong. It's not the first time I'll be wrong, but again, the trade made sense. Look at the dollar's action today. It's just like it's just all over the place. Oh man, considering new home sales were just absolute garbage. Keep it on. Again, dollar was like down big yesterday versus the yuan. Look at the TLT again. As if you took profits on this, is a great trade, trading it up. Talked about it, hedging, and now just again higher rates. I don't know how rates can't go higher near term if inflation is going to pick up and there's stimulus coming out there. I mean, they're pushing money into risk on assets. That's why personally, and again, this is where I could be wrong, but my experience tells me that The only way to get a 50 basis point rate cut coming up is for the market to get destroyed, smacked around a little. With the VIX at the 15, it makes sense where you might want to start taking profits, hedging positions, and actually shorting. SPY again, another doji. Look at this tight action. I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, it's not like I've never seen this before. It's just like you're seeing a super big tight consolidation of the action. I mean, here you go. Same thing with the Qs. I mean, it makes sense to short up here, right? I mean, any questions, thoughts, concern? I mean, let me know. I mean, if it fails here, great. SPYs get back under the freaking 570s. You know, I mean, you know what? I mean, sorry, 565. You know what to do. I mean, look at the IWM acting like crap all day. It's like heading down. DIA should be up, right? No, come on, load. So again, today was just kind of weirdly ominous, but again, up after hours on the Micron earnings. We'll see. Gold. Come on. Oh, come on. Please don't be one of those days. There you go. Been on a nice run. Congrats. Not really much to say here. Silver, which was up big yesterday. Keep an eye on it. Inside day, near the highs. Chop top or going to break out. Your guess is as good as mine. GDX and GDXJ held up pretty well after yesterday's green bars. Can't say anything too bad about them other than just, okay, little inside days. See what happens. Raise your stops. Again, miners could get slammed if the VIX explodes. AEM's been the leader. We talked about that. AG coming into some resistance here. We'll see. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it, right? Newmont coming into the range highs and posted this, said just keep an eye on it. I mean, this is an area that's very binary. This is a big resistance zone, support zone. So if you can get over it, you know what could happen. This thing could go flying, but is it going to go flying near term? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Pass. It probably makes more sense to sell cover calls on this stuff. Here you go. Same thing, kind of nice pop up. But does it form like a head and shoulders top? I don't know. Or is it going to break out? Again, you've broken the downtrend. We've talked about this. And so it's just, okay, if silver holds up, this stuff has got game. Taiwan Semi gapped up yesterday. I had some information. Again, I haven't pulled the trigger on shorties. It just makes sense, but I mean, you're at a really interesting area. Again, it's like, keep an eye on this. Gap filling, 185. I think after hours, you did fill the gap based on Micron's earnings. Micron, again, we talked about going long this off the blows, not going long really into earnings. A little scary, but guess where it's at after hours? You guessed it, up into this blue zone around I don't know, it seems from 107 to 109, kind of vacillating. Worth a watch. Is that the spot where it fails? Watch that on your radar. AMD holding up pretty well. Again, into everything did rising up into the Micron earnings. Could it be a sell the news? That's why I was curious. That's why this video is coming out late. I was curious to see how it reacted during the conference call, but okay, is what it is. NVIDIA, I mean, Jay Solstice, man, he's got some really good option trade stuff that he's popping in there. Held up pretty good. We talked about, stopping out, which you had to. Here it got up into the gaps in this area after hours at 124.46. Oh man, this is like so tempting to short. Just watch it. Do what you got to do. It's SMCI. We talked about this getting to the 20-day or like back in the day, maybe 500. Man, it really has to get over this 489 to 500 range. If it doesn't, it's kind of just a chop mess. Intel held up today again. Everyone's squeezing up into that Micron earnings. It's actually interesting because after hours, Intel not really doing too much on it. SMH, I mean, again, was adding Soxus, feeling like an idiot after hours. I think Soxus is at 20. It's like, this is at 249, which, I don't know. What do you do, right? Try to mitigate risk by not playing Micron directly. And sometimes it is. Just watch it. This is what I'd be watching for tomorrow is the trap. I mean, everyone's like, yeah, he broke the downtrend. Now I get it. Just watch these levels. I mean, everything AI is priced in to the chip sector. That's the hardest part for people to realize. It's just, how is it going to act? Do we need to get back up here? Do we need to play some games? We'll see. Adobe. That's the hardest part. Do we need to play more games? Yeah, gaps down, chopping around, not much. Apple, again, on the day, you'd be like, this market's going to pop. Back in the 20-day, seems to be lacking. Amazon, we talked about like this 195 area, filling the gap. Said yesterday that Doji had a really long wick on it. Felt very ominous. That looks like a short to me. Meta, it looks like Zuckerberg's going back to the far. Everyone's far left or right. Actually, back to the right, more libertarian, talking about he's posting his interviews. We'll see what happens here. Again, I mean, I understand why he's trying to hedge his bets going to election. He doesn't want Meta to be a freaking caught in the crosshairs of social media stuff. But yeah, whatever. CRM popped up. Man, that gap right there. I mean, 278 makes sense. Guggenheim, we talked about the getting stuck in the mid 160s. Looking like it so far. Microsoft was down for most of the day and then rallied back at the end of the day, kind of just chopping. And this one hasn't been paying attention. Following NDAQ again, we talked about this thing has the biggest pain path. You break the 20-day, see you later. 50 days, a long way down. Keep that in mind. MicroStrategy been on fire. We talked about this one. Interesting action today. I would be slightly nervous as a bull. I know the volume's light, so it could be just a little bit of an inside track of taking profits, but I'd be watching. Netflix and chill, holding up pretty good, right? Can't say much about that. Roblox, it looks like it's going to break out. But then all of a sudden, look at the candle today. It's like, feel bad for my bull friends. I mean, I was long this and just took the profits. I'm like, I don't trust the market. And then, is it going to go? Maybe it's going to go because I took profits. People love to be superstitious like that. It's all about me. When I sell, it's going to go higher, right? Pan W, again, we like this one. We like the cybersecurity names. Keep an eye on this stuff because, again, I'm just curious to see how this holds up if things get a little itchy. Insight, here you go, chopping around. I'd pull this bad boy back. I'd like to see it in the 50s. PLTR, Plantair. A lot of people are long this name. I mean, I've seen every retail person I know long this. It makes me a little nervous for bulls. I like the short. Some others have talked about it. Watching, just keeping an eye on it. Not because, again, it's going to zero, but just because it's overbought and everybody, retail public is all in. They're like, oh, it's the only stock to own. It's becoming that kind of meme stock-ish activity. McDonald's chopping up near the highs, worth a watch. GKNG, I'm surprised this one broke out in the morning and I'm watching it. And then as the day went on, it's like, yeah, these guys were like, I'm out. Screw that. And you had the AM pop, you pulled back. You made new highs intraday. You formed a head and shoulders on the 10-minute, and then it was like to close. Worth a watch again. Looks like a bull trap. Airbnb, talked about the trash floats last. Chopping. Costco. 20-day. I mean, it's not much to say on that. Starbucks, again, I thought this would be up more on some China news. Again, after all of the hype of the new CEO being stolen from Chipotle, their food is gross now, man. I don't know how people eat that. It's probably the short. Watching here at the range. FedEx, we talked about this gapping down with earnings, popping back to the 200-day. Very clear reference here. Wanted to short it before earnings, but couldn't. Look at that bull trap, right? Look at that. Breaks out, gives it all back. Get everyone excited and pull the rug on over their heads. Caterpillar. Put an arrow here for a reason. Today's action, little railroad tracks. Man, that could be a top, y'all. DE, again, a lot of these commodity / China names, potential names that have benefits from China stimulus, pricing it in. Interesting up here, watching the range. X was up Nucor was up a couple points yesterday, 50-day chopping. Letter X again, I think they get bought out at some point. Just let it pull back. VALE, we talked about this should be popping. 100 days key. This area around 11, key. Arrow. Again, junior copper, it makes sense to me. But look at these bars, man. Some of these bars don't look good. CCJ holding up pretty good. Credit where credit's due. Again, I mean, we like these names long term. It's one of those things near term versus short term. It's short term, kind of nervous. Long term, probably disappear and you're going to be fine. It's just, will you be able to stomach the volatility that can come? CF, that candle's not looking so hot. Mosaic, right? Okay. This one is interesting because, again, these names are been so throttled. Watch the range lows. That's all I really can say. Same thing. AA was up big yesterday, right? Giving back a little bit of it, right? Gaps up. And this is what's crazy. Gaps up, held the 100-day, and then gaps down today, fills the gap, and then candle's green, but that just looks like at worst consolidation. XLF, we talked about this. 20-day, retro, raggy, financials not leading. See why things look ominous? And again, financials should be boiling up. We talked about the short here at the 2050 day. Congrats. Morgan Stanley, like, makes sense to me. Chopping up against this like little trend line blue zone, worth a watch. Bank of America, again, Buffett sold $8 billion worth. I mean, how much more can he sell? I don't know. He's out. He's getting out. Goldman Sachs, chopping around, right? KRE. Look at this thing, man. Does this look, I mean, this is not what you want to see in a strong market with junior banks. You don't want to see them going straight line move, losing 17 to 15% in 4 days. Things that make you go, XBI, again, a risk on name that we've talked about. Joe was saying this in the Discord room. Like, look at this. Okay, let's look at the housing index, right? Like, you would think, okay, rates are coming down. Things are great. All right, keep an eye on it. Trapping at the highs. Oh boy, solar, right? And we talked about this following oil and gas. Well, guess what? If oil and gas start pulling back, these names are going to get crushed again. The easiest trade, in my opinion, would be ENPH. But damn, you didn't get the 120s. First solar, then it'd be in this area here. Again, remember, this is a tricky name. It can do some wild shit. So again, I would be careful. HYG. Again, if you're buying corporate debt, you're high out of your mind. Talked about oil popping up on the China news. Man, gave it all back today. Natural gas being the beacon of strength as it is. Watching that area again. I'd love to see the coal get back up in the 80s. Talked about if you had profits in this on the short, you should absolutely be taking in some in. XOP, again, talked about this yesterday. Like, something doesn't look right. Nope, that's not the reaction you want to see. CVE, been chopping around 16. It's a support level, not much to say. ExxonMobil, talked about this one popping. Giving it back. We talked about the gasoline names. Not really acting so hot. That Hansel, so hot right now. Not so much, right? Not so much. Occidental, right? I mean, like, Buffett should be pumping this thing, but he's not. Maybe he's taking all that Bank of America profit and he's like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go drink a Coke and have a, what is he like? He eats like trash food every once in a while, like a Coca-Cola. He probably gets like the original Coca-Cola. He's like, don't send me that fake shit you guys sell now. Excuse my language. Leave a comment below if you agree. And Buffett's, sitting here going, okay, let this come. He's like, I need it down. I want to buy more. I'm not going to compete against myself. I want to let all the scared money knock the stops, and then I can come in with a big net in my Coca-Cola, singing singing songs about how Charlie Munger was awesome, and then take the shares. Again, EQT, I like this long term, but I like these at lower prices. Not better, but lower. Flex LNG, same thing. Big consolidation patterns. All right. Any questions out there? Don't hesitate to reach out. If there's anything I can do, let me know. Be a friend. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Leave a comment below. Again, I appreciate anyone who does the extra 3 millisecond attempt of hitting the like button or leaving a comment, which takes then 3 extra tenths to say, nice work, or you suck, or whatever. It's appreciated because that's what helps, man. Have a great evening. Talk to you guys and gals soon. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.